Hey guys, welcome to the Hindu Editorial Discussion. So the today date is 27th of June, and guys, this is available in Hindi also. So if you at all want to see in Hindi, so you can come into my channel and watch it, right? So let's see the discussions. What we are going to conduct today is about the first is Qatar crisis. The Arab countries have put a few conditions on Qatar to abide by, and if Qatar is abiding by those conditions, then their Arab countries are telling that we'll restore our relations with you. So we'll just look onto this editorial. This is very good editorial indeed. Next is about the sports thing, guys. It's not important for UPSC, so I'll not discuss it. Next is about the Judge PN Bhagwati duration when she was the judge, what all things happened, so, right? So there are few key terms which are related to UPSC perspective, but we won't discuss it because, say for example, right to equality is there, right? So we won't discuss that right to equality because we will anyhow read the same thing in Lakshmikant. So what was how did she what was the judgment on during her tenure? So this is all about that, so it's not important for UPSC per se, right? Next is INO, Indian Neutrino Observatory. So it is very important and we'll discuss it, right? Very good points are written there. So and facts are also there. So let's see the Qatar crisis, guys. Qatar crisis, the very issue in Qatar crisis revolving around is Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Bahrain and UAE have they have put forth a list of demand in front of Qatar, and they are asking that if Qatar is abiding by those demands, then they will restore their relations, right? So what are the demands? Let's see. There are many demands though, right? But the very impactful demand which is important for us to analyze are to snap all the trade ties with Iran, right? Means Qatar is having very much trade ties with Iran, so they are asking for Qatar to cut those relations. And next is to end the military cooperation with Turkey, and to shut down the Al Jazeera news network, right? So and other demands are also there. There are many other bulk of demands are also there, but means overall all the demands whatever the Arab countries have kept in front of Qatar, they are belonging to 2014 Riyadh Declaration of Gulf Cooperation Council, right? And what it tells, Riyadh Declaration, it tells that they will cease the support to extremist or terrorist group, right? The matter was that only they just analyzed that Qatar is funding few extremist group, right? So that's why they have put these demands to Qatar, so that if Qatar is abiding by, they will restore their relations. All right, so this was all about the issue of the Qatar crisis. Let's see a bit of analysis. What is the analysis done in this all matter, right? So such demands, see, the article is telling that such demands would have been fruitful if other Gulf of countries would have also abided by the same thing what they have put as a condition in front of Qatar, right? So let's see, there are two things what the article is highlighting is that the Gulf countries like Saudi Arab, Bahrain, UAE and Qatar also, they have supported once upon a time they have supported Sunni extremist group across West Asia. So they themselves have supported Sunni extremist group in West Asia, and they are imposing these restrictions on Qatar just because Qatar has imposed those was supporting extremist group, right? So this is a double standard, basically. This is a double standard, and this is a sarcastic tone which the article is putting in front of these Gulf countries, right? Article is also telling that UAE is a thriving business relation with Iran. UAE itself is carrying out business relation with Iran, and he's telling that he's telling Qatar to stop those relations. What is this? I mean, this is again a double standard, right? So whatever is the issue is, a few implications are also they are putting those implications. Let's see. So implication is not only on India, but it's also on the international community, right? Because this whatever the restrictions are put forth in was imposed on Qatar, this is somehow going to change the future diplomacy. The diplomacy presently is carrying out in a democratic manner only, but the now whatever is being happening, so this might have a bad implications in the future diplomacy. So what are the diplomacy? Let's see. It might result in weakening of international order, means whatever the international order is being going at a pace right now, so it might toggle those that international order, right? Not only this, it might have an implication on the rule of law and the UN system of conflict resolution. Because the rule of laws and UN system of conflict resolution doesn't tells that when you are committing wrong, then you can impose some restrictions on other countries just because they have committed wrong, right? First you see yourself, then see others, right? It is also considered as a sign that in future there might be a large conflict with Iran, by these all things whatever is happening right now, right? And for India perspective, they have put a trouble scenario because our ties with Iran is somewhat different, right? We are in yesterday's article also have discussed that we are connected to Iran through trade route, through oil, through natural gas, that is the Farjadbi natural gas plant is there. So by these all oil reserve miss. So not only this, we will also be getting impacted by the remittance thing, because our diaspora, there is a huge section of diaspora that is living in those Arab countries, right? So if any conflict happens, then it's going to show results on India also, right? So let's see the next article, guys. Next article is about the Neutrino Observatory. Their article is telling that the few section of society is not allowing us to build a neutrino observatory. So what are the future implications that might happen by if neutrino observatory is being set up there? So a few role of sciences they have kept to to tell that if science can do this, then if neutrino observatory has also a potential to bring out a revolution, and it will benefit India only, right? So the role of science that is being mentioned in article are like the Galileo in 1610, he by the use of telescope he has discovered the Jupiter moon, and if Jupiter moon is discovered, so that has helped the different space agencies to set aircraft to satellites over there and do many tests, right? Also, it has been discussed that distant galaxies are nowadays being observed by very large telescope, and we by these we have obtained the evidence of Big Bang in many aspects, right? So the article is discussing about the two things, that is gravitational waves and neutrino, and they are telling that they have the potential to travel a greater distance in the universe. So since they have the potential to travel a greater distance in the universe, we should determine them also, right? Because they might reveal the existence of whole universe, like why there is existence, how there is existence, means many more things can be discovered in future perspective, right, which is not known to us as of now. So let's see, since they have discussed about the gravitational wave and neutrinos in depth, so we will also discuss a bit about that. So they discussed is that gravitational wave, it was predicted by Einstein theory, which he has put forth in 1916, then they have the potential to travel at a speed of light, and they produce when two black holes collide, as you can see in this figure. I mean, this is a not practical per se, this is an experimental figure basically. Next is it was first detected in September 2015 by LIGO Observatory, which is in US, and there were few measurements done which found out that the colliding black holes have mass which is 30 times greater than that of sun at present sun, right? And the collision whatever is being happened 1.3 billion light years away. So this was the measurement being found by the LIGO Observatory about the gravitational wave. So these are the few factual things which we have to learn, all right, which is important for prelims perspective. Next is neutrino. Neutrinos are the basically they are emitted from the sun, because sun is considered as the largest nuclear reactor. So what happens is, like, sun emit neutrinos, right? So as they travel the distance from the sun to earth, the neutrinos were changing from this to this, है ना? So basically what happens is, when neutrinos is released from sun, and as they enters the earth atmosphere, so they change their characteristics. From earlier they used to be electron neutrino type, है ना? And when by that of sun, which was emitting to muon neutrino type, means earlier it was electron neutrino type, and when it enters the earth atmosphere, it changes its characteristics to muon neutrino type, right? So these are very depth factual. In depth we shouldn't go, but like overall perspective we should keep is that it changes characteristics, right? That's it, because UPSC will going to ask that only, that it will it changes its characteristic as it passes from different regions, so this is possible, yes, right? So this was all about neutrino, but the article is telling that since we have learned about gravitational waves, and gravitational waves experiments are being carried out, so neutrino is also very important thing, and we should carry out, because in future we, by observing by these all the neutrino detectors whatever we manufacture, or we set up as a lab, so it might result in finding some sort of cutting edge fundamental laws of physics, right? So that's why the article is advocating for setup of neutrino observatories in India. Because see, what my perspective is, like, if neutrino observatory will set up in India, then we will be benefited only, because if we discover some sort of very big thing in neutrino area, then what will happen is we can patent that, and if we patent that, then what will happen, every royalty will come to our country, so that will be better, right? So the proposed neutrino observatory, let's see what is the aim of it. So the aim is to observe the muon neutrino, whatever is being coming inside the earth atmosphere, right? And by the cosmic rays, whatever the is being strike to earth, right, by the sun's ray, right? So it will not only it will not only observe the muon neutrino, but it will also observe the anti-neutrino. What anti-neutrino is, see, anti-neutrino is a sort of like antimatter, right? If you have not learned about antimatter, just look on to Google it, what antimatter is. If you read about antimatter, then you'll get to know about anti-neutrino, right? But still, in short, I'll describe you is that regarding the antimatter, it is a material composed of anti-particle, alright, to the corresponding particle of ordinary matter, right? Means if ordinary matter exists, then with ordinary matter there exists an antimatter. So in similar terms, in neutrino case also, with neutrino there exists anti-neutrino. So our Indian based neutrino observatory are going to test that only, that what is the characteristic of anti-neutrino. Means they'll test the characteristic of neutrino also, but they'll mainly focus, they'll also focus with anti-neutrino, and it will just check the characteristics of the three flavors of anti-neutrino, which are tau neutrino, electron neutrino, and muon neutrino. And alright, and it will also find out that whether antineutrinos oscillate or shows the same characteristic what the neutrinos do it. But the main matter which has been focused on this article is that there are many roadblocks, right? So what are the roadblocks? We'll see that. Roadblocks is coming from activists and political parties. See, activists in the sense that climate activists, right? Climate and environment activists, they are telling that it is they have some characteristics of nuclear thing, right? So these are totally the baseless allegations, and the political parties are also telling the same. Political parties in the here, by I mean that opposition party, because what happens in India, that opposition will every time criticize the political parties which is ruling. All right, so they are taking the advantages of it by the help of environment activists, right? And they are imposing baseless allegations that this is due to the radioactivity, but it is not as such, because it is written here. You can read it from the article, right? So this was all about it, and a few two facts are given, guys. So I'll just discuss those facts. That NOVA is a neutrino detector in US and T2K is a neutrino detector is Japan, because these might come as a factual trivia in your prelims paper, right? So guys, this is over. I will meet in next article. Till then, bye bye, take care.